Hi everyone, it's Robin and welcome back. Today I'd like to share with you my favorites from the month of October. I have a few shows that I'd like to share with you. Also I have one snack, and then I have a handful of decor items that I have found at thrift stores the past month that I have used around my house, so I'm excited to share those with you as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I apologize about my voice today. I still have a cold, I'm still very congested, and I feel like I got a really weird voice. But I am feeling a little bit better, I have a little bit more energy today, so I thought I'd go ahead and film this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So this month, let's start with my snack that I've had this month. I had a treat because it's, you know, October and Halloween and all that, and there's candy corn. I love candy corn so much, but I really like to mix my candy corn with peanuts. So I buy a bag of candy corn and I buy like a jar of peanuts and I mix the two together, and then every day I grab like a handful of it, and it is so yummy. I love it so much. So I think I went through 2 bags of candy corn, whoops, and 2 containers of peanuts for the month. But I love it so much. I have a little bit left, and I'm not allowing myself to buy any more candy corn, but I have a little bit left that I'm trying to make last a really long time. So, so that was the snack that I was really loving this last month. So the first show that I started watching was Better Call Saul. And this is a spin-off of Breaking Bad, which I finished a little while ago. And I really like Breaking Bad, so I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this show. And I really liked it. It's centered around the lawyer from Breaking Bad, and it's about how he became a lawyer and like found his practice and built his practice, and it also kind of ties into some of the same characters as from Breaking Bad. So it was very interesting. I really liked it. I think there were 2 seasons and I watched both of them, and I was like, oh, I don't want this to be done yet. So I really liked it. It's a little quirky, I would guess you'd call it, but I really liked it at the same time. So that was the first one, was Better Call Saul. So the second show that I watched was called Mindhunter, and I absolutely loved this show. I could only watch a little bit at a time though, because the humor is very dry and you really kind of had to pay attention to what was going on in order to know what was going on, because it was all very dry. It's based on these 2 FBI agents who work for a special unit of the FBI back in the 1970s, and they were trying to like develop how to identify like what they decided to call serial killers, and that's how we got that name. So anyways, it was a very interesting show, and I really loved it, and I couldn't watch it with like anyone else around me. I had to wait till the kids went to bed so I could just concentrate on what was happening. I just loved it so much. So I am looking forward to another season of that. If they ever do it, I would totally watch it again. And I was very sad when the season was over. I'm like, oh, the last episode, no! So then the Mindhunter was over, and I'm like, oh, what am I gonna watch now? So then I was looking around Netflix, and I came across something called the 5. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll try this. And I was afraid it was gonna be scary, but it wasn't. So I just kept watching it, and I fell in love with that. Also, it is British, which is really cool, because then you have the British accents to enjoy also, which I love British accents, so I thought that was pretty cool. But basically, it's about this set of 4 friends, and one of the friends has a younger brother, and the younger brother goes missing. And then it skips forward 20 years, and all the friends are grown up now, and they're all living their own lives, and all of a sudden, DNA shows up at a crime scene from this little boy, and then everyone's like freaking out, like, is this kid still alive? If he is, where has he been? How do we find him? And what really happened that day? So it was really good. So if you haven't watched anything else, watch that show. I loved it so much. And of course, it was another one of those shows where I was very upset when it was over. So that was another one. And then after I watched the 5, I couldn't find anything else on Netflix that I wanted to watch. I feel like I've watched everything on there, which is very frustrating. But so then I went over to Amazon Prime, and I started watching a show which I started watching a while back called The Last Tycoon, and that is what I'm currently watching. I think I'm about 4 episodes in, and I really like it. I love the time period, like old Hollywood, and yeah, it's pretty good. I like that a lot. So I am going to be enjoying that, probably an episode at least today for sure. So that's another good show to check out. So all of that brings me to the fun part, which is the decor items that I found this past month. All of which I found at the thrift store. Two of the items which were, I picked up 2 different mirrors, and I gave those both a makeover. So I'll have those to share with you. I also found a soup tureen, and then another like lidded pottery piece or whatever. I don't know what you call it, but anyways, so I have that to show you. And then a couple other things that I have found at the thrift stores and I've used to decorate. Now there are a few things that I found at the thrift stores that I have tried in like multiple places around my house, and I cannot find a place to put them. And it is very frustrating. So of course I will continue to look for places to put the stuff, but the first thing being this ladder right here. It's really long. I think I picked this up last week, and I have tried this ladder in like 4 or 5 different places around the house, and everywhere I put it, I think it just looks ridiculous, and it doesn't go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'm thinking maybe I will try it downstairs, like next to my fireplace or something like that. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know why this is giving me such troubles, but it really is. It's driving me crazy. So anyways, that was one of the things that I was really excited to find, but now I just don't know what to do with. Does anyone else ever have that problem? Like, I want to use it so badly because I love it, but I just don't know where to put it. So, very frustrating. The other item that I found this past month that I really love is this, I'm calling it a plate rack, but a lot of you thought that it was probably to put wood in next to a fireplace or something like that, which totally makes sense now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, or it's just a regular basket. I don't know, but I figured it looked like a plate rack to me, and nice like farmhouse style plate rack. So I have plans for this, but I have not used it yet because where I want to put it, I am enjoying the decor there, and I want to keep it there until after Thanksgiving. So then I'll switch it up after that. But then I'm thinking, but then it's going to be Christmas. So I don't know if I'll use it. So I might have to wait until my winter decor when I use a lot of black and white. I think this would be perfect for that. So it might be a couple more months before I get to use it, but I really like it. I may actually go put it down by by the fireplace and use it as like stack some wood in it for now, so I can say I'm using it right away. So that might be a good idea. So those are the 2 items that are kind of giving me some troubles, and one of them I have a plan for, and the other one I don't have a plan for. So if you have any ideas on how to use that ladder, let me know down in the comments, because I'm at my wit's end. I'm about ready to chuck it out the window because I can't figure out where to use it. And it makes me very sad because I was so excited when I found it. So anyways, so let's go ahead and jump right into the things that I did find a place for in my home this year. I have a handful of things, and then I also have 2 mirrors that I gave a makeover to, and I love them both. So I'm so excited to share with you. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. The first 2 items I have to share today I've used on the same shelf in my hutch, and I think they look great together. This covered pot I stacked on top of some vintage books and then added a little greenery for softness. The shape of this soup tureen is very unique, which I love, and after pairing it with one of my yard pumpkins and some more greenery, I'm enjoying the new look my hutch now has. The next item I found was this adorable vintage deer. Isn't he just the cutest? I simply placed him in front of a frame on my dresser so he can make me smile every morning as I prepare for the day. Next up is this decorative finial that I found. I've paired it with a framed photo and a stack of vintage books, and I think the trio makes a great looking, easily accomplished display. This next pair of finds have a great farmhouse look that I really like. These hanging candle holders are chunky and rustic looking, and I absolutely love how they look hanging from the shelf in my kitchen. They add a touch of rustic farmhouse flair to this corner, which I absolutely love. Moving on to this month's makeover, this is the first mirror that I found. And here's the second one. I lined both mirrors with painter's tape to protect the mirror surface, and then I gave both mirrors 2 coats of paint in a creamy white shade. Once the paint had dried, I used some fine grit sandpaper to distress both mirrors. The larger of the 2 mirrors I decided to hang over the desk in my dining room, and I think it works wonderfully here. While I was distressing this piece, I chose to use a very light hand. I concentrated most of it to the edges of the piece and then also to highlighting the details on the mirror. I couldn't be more happy with how it turned out, and I think it is absolutely beautiful and works perfectly in this space. The second smaller mirror I decided to hang at the entrance of our bedroom hallway, since I have a small mirror theme going on anyways in this space. And as you can see, I did not restrain myself at all while just dressing this one. The goal was to give it a heavily distressed look, and I think I hit the mark. To add some interest, I hung a small rosemary wreath over the mirror, and I think it's the perfect finishing touch. Alright, so those were the items that I found this past month that are my new favorites for home decor. I'm really loving everything, and the mirrors are like perfect. I absolutely adore the mirror above my desk in my dining room. Love it so much. And it's so hilarious because I just hung it yesterday and we haven't been home a lot, but already it's like the go-to mirror in the house. I have sat at the desk at the dining room table and watched every single one of my family members stop and use the mirror like it's always been there. So it's kind of silly, but I think it's kind of cool at the same time. So yeah, so those were my favorites for the month of October. Thanks so very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye now.